Okay, so you're telling me that this doesn't fucking wash anything out. Are you telling me that? Are you telling me that? Are you telling me that? This doesn't wash anything out of your fucking eyes? This doesn't do anything? What's going on, guys? I've got you a great update for some new features coming to SCUM right now and are already implemented. Let's get into it right away. Some hot fixes, some quality of life updates, all that good stuff. Let's do it. So patch 0.8510.68662. That it was May 31st. I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going through the bug fixes like last time. I don't give a shit about bug fixes. So we're going to go into the quality of life additions. This is what you care about. This is what I care about. By the way, hit the like and subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can see all of my updates and news on SCUM, latest guides, etc. Also, if you're a game server owner or want to be one, you can go to GGHOST using my link below and my coupon code mikealpha at checkout. You can get 50% off your first month with GGHOST. They have servers for SCUM, Rust, DayZ, all that good stuff. Tons of different stuff. You're gonna love it. Use that coupon code mikealpha at checkout for 50% off. Anyway, let's get rolling right here. So one thing I love is rebalancing hand abrasions gain. That is amazing. That shit was so boring and annoying. Come on, you pick up one plank of wood and you get your fucking hands busted open like Triple H's forehead. Give me a break. This is the way it needs to be. Rebalanced it. That's a good thing. The next thing, adjusted suicide puppet beeps audio volume. I don't know if they're doing it louder or less, but realistically, it didn't really bother me either way. Adjusted sentry walking speed. So that has been modified. You can no longer sell vehicles when other players occupy them. So that's kind of a little bit interesting. I know a lot of people were getting away with some stuff at the traders, selling things right out from under players. So maybe that's a good thing that they've worked on that. But, realistically, I would love to see the brutality. Just push the car. If a fucker gets out of the car, you should be able to take this shit and sell it. I mean, it's the way it should be. So I don't mind it. Play aggressive, play PvP, be a dirty bastard, all that good stuff. Be Ric Flair, okay?
For the dirtiest player in the game.
So the next thing is you can have a added wristwatch alarm functionality. So the wristwatch now works as far as with an alarm. So if you want to keep up with your cooking and all that stuff, you can have your wristwatch tell you when your stuff's ready. If you're out and about cutting down trees and all that stuff. Characters will no longer stagger forwards when hit with melee weapons, only backwards. So that right there, I want to make a big note here. One of you guys in the comment section, you were really frustrated because the developers were being super sluggish and terrible at doing the physics the way you wanted to see them. So I'm happy for you that they implemented this at least. When you hit a puppet with a spear or something like that, they should technically fall backwards. Am I right? So I know that they definitely need to have some better physics when it comes to attacking things and, puppets and players and all that stuff. Usually Z in here. Holy shit. Do you see that? Holy crap. These arrows are made of bowling balls. Holy moly. But it says characters. So I don't know if that exactly means puppets. We'll have to do some tests and see. But for sure, they're saying characters no longer stagger forwards when being hit. So that didn't make much sense, I guess, with the physics of life. So at least they're up, getting with the scientific times here. Next thing, they implemented some chat spam protection. So that's good. I really think they need to have some kind of mod, checking out the servers more often. There's some dirty, filthy shit that gets put in those chats. It's really bad sometimes. So I recommend they definitely have a mod or somebody, admin, to clean that up a lot better going forward. I think that'd be great. With the dawn of ChatGPT, I think that this should be possible these days in video games to have a better mod system, but we'll see. Your character now rests when in vehicle and idle. So you're going to get some form of resting bonus, I'm assuming, or your character is going to, have a rested status when in a vehicle and idle, as it says there. Auto add item to inventory now properly rotates the item to find suitable position for it. So if you're not familiar with that mechanic, basically you'll click and drag an item to the gray slash bars in your inventory. You'll see them. They look like a little gray and black slash bars. If you drag it over top of that, it's like a little grid looking thing, it'll auto correct the orientation of the items and sort them for you, which is kind of nice. So you can do that, and I think that's really useful. Quick way to get your inventory managed. The next thing, sentry bullets now have tracers, so you'll be able to see clearly where you're getting shot from with the sentries. So that's pretty cool. I don't really know why they had to do that. I don't really see a benefit to that, except, you know, it's I guess easier for you to see where it's coming from, but I didn't see that being really necessary, but to each their own. Reduce the amount of fuel and battery charge vehicles can spawn with. So that is updated. And then the next thing is you can now you can now wash your eyes from tear gas effect. So if you have been tear gassed, you can now wash your eyes, which is super great. Works with all water sources, does not work with water containers such as bottles. What the fuck, dude? Does not work with water containers such as bottles. Okay, so you're telling me that this doesn't fucking wash anything out. Are you telling me that? Are you telling me that? Are you telling me that? This doesn't wash anything out of your fucking eyes? This doesn't do anything? Are you telling me that? Because that's some bullshit. I don't know about you. That's fucking bullshit. That's not realistic at all. Of course you can use water containers, you know, for your eye wash. That doesn't make any sense. They need to fix that ASAP. Increase the time standing torches and candles can burn with maximum fuel. Adjusted some bags and clothing items inventory capacity. Added fish skewer recipe. So if you like to fish, you can now make a little skewer for yourself, which is pretty cool. I find that that's going to be a nice way for some new players to get some good protein in if they're not able to buy anything at the traders and things like that, or find other animals because the hunting system's been reworked. So fishing there might be your solution if you are a noob. So let's go ahead and keep going. Your focus mode compass now spins around if you have a disorientation body effect. And then eating raw cocoa powder will now give you food repulsion. That was super valuable. Ooh. I don't know about you, but I've never trying to eat raw cocoa powder is not good. So I guess that's a worthy adjustment. Fueling fire with multiple use items will now correctly use as much of the item as possible. So that's a nice update. And then added the ability to use WASD keys to unlock dial logs. I think they meant dial locks, but I think that's what they mean. So you should be able to get into those using those keys. So let's go ahead to the next part of the update, the newest part of the update, which is from just yesterday, which is Tuesday, June 20th. So let's get this rolling here. This is really good stuff. So you're going to want to stay tuned here. With the addition of generators and electricity, they've done a battery rework. It's time that they brought the batteries up to speed as well. So batteries have been reworked into the new system. Not only the batteries, but electrical devices as well. So let's go through what exactly has changed. Batteries now have different functionality. The intent is the same, but the method is different, more realistic. We'll see about that. Up to this point, batteries were more or less containers that you use to charge the invisible internal battery in devices, where you were then left with empty battery in hand. No longer, my friends, no longer. As of now, you'll have to insert the battery inside the device. How? Simply drag and drop the battery on the desired device and you will get a prompt. Okay, that's nice. That's it, quick and easy. Now, those of you with keen eyes might have noticed another detail in that photo. Batteries no longer have usages. So let's zoom in here so we can show you what we're talking about here. If I can zoom in without fucking up my computer 100% here. Okay, here we go. So right here, you can see they're showing charges left here. So that's kind of interesting. And they're showing here discharge effect, and then time until empty. So that's something new. So let's zoom back out here and keep looking here. So there's more to the rework. Batteries now actually hold charges and will be drained by the device accordingly. They no longer have usages. So depending on the device requirements, the battery will discharge quicker or slower. So on the same set of batteries, you'll be able to power the flashlight longer than NVGs. This change also shows up in the UI. You'll get all the info you need when hovering over the item in your inventory, as we just looked at in the menu there. And then here you can see how much charge you have left, the state of the battery, the discharge rate, and time till empty. And there's something else in the photos. So they're referring to this sucker, the large battery charger. So that's pretty cool. We now have a new item, a battery charger. So technically there's two, a box type, and then it looks like a remote type. There is the big one and the small one, but don't worry, they work the same. First thing you need is a generator. The second thing you need is the battery charger itself. Then just simply put the battery in the battery charger and voila, you're charging your battery. Again, you can hover the battery to see info such as rate of charge, time until a charge. Keep in mind that the blue regular batteries are not chargeable, so it won't even let you place them in the charger. So there you go, everything you need to properly use your equipment and devices. And there's another new thing you need to know. So before we get into that, so they're still saying that the blue batteries are not chargeable. So these are not chargeable. That's interesting. All right, fair enough. They should have some kind of like rechargeable versions of these like they do IRL, you know, so but whatever. But you know, the thing about it that's weird though is this is still showing 10 out of 10. So like they're saying, oh, it doesn't have uses, but they still show a 10 out of 10 though. So that's really weird and kind of confusing. Let's go scroll down here. Let's scroll down, or actually back up and look at this a little more. Okay, well, that one doesn't have any slashes on it, but this still does. That's weird. So I don't know. Maybe they need to fix that, but they're saying it doesn't have uses. That shows that it has uses, am I right? Anyway, we'll have to test it in game. The next thing here, night vision scope. So if you guys have been looking for a new toy to play with, this is a new thing right here for you. The new scope is now in and is a special one nicknamed Vampire. This scope not only has variable zoom, but also night vision capabilities. So this will be a nice one to use, especially if you're going to troll around in the dark and stuff like that. So they're saying, I know what you're thinking, and no, not yet. They need a bit more time to set it up so that you can't use regular scopes with NVGs, but it is in the works. So for now, you have time to prepare for that and get that needed gear. So from the looks of it, they're gonna make it to where you're not allowed to use regular scopes with night vision. That's kind of weird. You know, I don't know. That's kind of weird. I don't know what I think about that. Tobacco, as promised, it is here. You can now plant and grow your own tobacco. So again, if you wonder how to do it, go to the 0.8 patch notes where farming is explained. They'll cover what you can do with it. First is obvious. You can roll it up and smoke it at your own peril. So that's something that you can do. They're also saying you might be able to mix it with something else, if you know what I'm talking about. Again, at your own peril. You could sell it to general goods trader for profit. So there you have it. You can have your own toxic farm tax free. That's pretty funny. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. And now smoking in the game is kind of a way for you to gain exhaustion recovery, basically. So that's something to keep in mind. That's kind of a function of it now. So it's not just a wasted item necessarily. So that's pretty cool. And now let's go to the new item. The helmet. So they have a medic helmet, and here it is. So that looks pretty good. I like the modeling of this. This looks pretty sweet. Hopefully they'll have a couple of other variations. And now the biggest part of this, in my opinion, is the Duga.
Oh, shit.
Buck, Dirk Allah.
Durka Durka, Haka Sherpa Sherpa, a Bacala. Oh, Durka Durka Durka.
Radar site located in D0 sector. The new POI is a long abandoned huge radar site. Feel free to explore. For those of you who are not afraid of heights, you can climb up to the radar as well. Who knows, you might even find a good place for a hidden stash. So that's pretty sweet. Let's click on this and get a bigger view of that. I like that. I'm going to be exploring that for sure. Okay, that looks sweet. And let's keep looking at these. Looks very nice. Man, I with all this material here, man, I'm kind of concerned. I ain't gonna lie about the lag. I'm kind of concerned about it. I hope the lag isn't bad, because if it is, you may want to turn down your render resolution and your distance and all that stuff, so that you can rendering distance, so you don't have mega frame dropping. There's something to keep in mind there. Bug fixes, and then there's a couple QOL additions here. Arrows and bolts can no longer do damage to vehicles. That's stupid. I don't like that. But that's not true. That's not realistic. I mean, maybe the wood ones might not do damage, but carbon arrow should be able to pierce through a door. Okay, so, or metal arrow. So I think that that's not a good change. I think if they want to take away wooden arrows and bolts from doing damage, that's fine, but I think the metal and carbon ones should certainly do damage. And I hope they're not referring to the explosive bolts or explosive arrows, because that would be really stupid if you can't do damage to a vehicle with arrows and bolts that are explosive. Next thing is modified recipes of all crafted suppressors. So we'll look at that in game at some time here. And then eating crickets and earthworms will now give you food repulsion. So all of you guys who had a really hard time with surviving as a new spawn are going to have even worse or more fun time, depending on how you look at it, with finding food, because now these are going to give you repulsion. The larva gave repulsion before, but kind of like with DayZ, if you eat like old food, kind of like small bites kind of concept, you should be able to be fine. So I would probably take the same concept here. Next thing, adjusted vehicle parts, spawn chance, and initial durability. And I really hope that they will fix the car motor thing. If you saw one of my last videos on how the new car system works, without needing any engineering skill to do any car repairs, I really wish they would fix the motor issue by being able to buy a motor if you needed to. That would be cool if they fixed that. The next thing, remove the eerie ambient audio from Sambor City. So I believe that was like the D3, D4 city. That was a really annoying sound. So I'm actually happy they finally got rid of that shit. That was really annoying. And open finger gloves will now soak much less water. So those are some of the updates, guys. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can see more videos from me here. I've got more guides and more updates coming to you guys and news, so make sure you stay tuned. And again, if you're a server owner or want to be one, make sure you head over to GGHOST, clicking the link in the description and using my coupon code MikeAlpha at checkout for 50% off your first month with GGHOST. I'll see you guys in the next one, and remember, be alpha. See you in the next video.